Good evening, everyone. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Kitty Q, Inner Peace. Good evening. Welcome, Janet. Oh, your husband had surgery? He caught a cold while in surgery. That sucks. Well, I hope your husband gets the authorization for the second leg of the surgery. Gamma, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Lemon Pie. Good evening, Lemon Pie, and welcome to tonight's trivia. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Sal, Purple, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Well, I hope it gets better, Gemma. Marina, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Scrolling through reading the comments that were here before I started. Looks like a couple people were a little bit earlier. That's all right though. Kitty Q, that's my email address that Inner Peace posted. If you go to the About Me section, it's there. You have to click on that. It asks you if you're a robot. There's like a little thing you link up to, and it should give you a pop-up menu and ask you like the recapture thing. Are you a robot? But that's the email address. If I'm not early, I'm late. Hi, everyone. This is my first time here. Well, welcome. And Hughes, good evening. Welcome as well. Give it about another minute and a half here. We'll get this this going. How's it going, Inner Peace? Well, we've got power. We lost power because of the storm. And then one of the transformers, I think it is, that's on a pole, blew. And then they had to send out a power, a company to, to hook it up. The power company where I live is controlled by the government. Just about everything around here is either it's all government, 100% of the government controls it all, or it's controlled by the government and a city entity. That goes for everything from trash to cable company to your home phone. Everything's controlled by them because it's a government town, and a lot of it is slowly, being transformed into independent, companies. But a lot of it's still controlled by the government. So when the power goes out or you lose the internet, like right now, we're using a hotspot, from our mobile devices. We have no home internet yet. No, that happens. Brenda, hi Will. Didn't see you a while. Irish blessings to you and your family. Well, thank you, Brenda. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Brenda. All right, let's get this party started. To kill without remorse. All of the questions tonight are about Ted Bundy. Ted Bundy. To kill without remorse. All right, I'll get the first question up on the screen here. In just a second. First, viewer discretion is strongly advised. If you're new here and you want to play along, you simply answer A, B, C, or D, or make up a funny answer and answer it as E. Be kind and have fun. You very well may learn something about the person, in the trivia, but that's it. You're not competing against anybody. You don't even have to keep score, but if you want to, you can. It's up to you. First question. Ted Bundy kept trophies of each victim. However, police were never able to recover them all. What did Ted say he did with the rest of them? Is it A, wouldn't tell them, B, he burned them, C, he gave them away, or D, he tossed them in the trash? What did Ted Bundy do with all of the trophies that they were unable to recover? You've read several books on Ted Bundy. He's a very interesting serial killer. Well, was past tense. We all know here what happened to Teddy in the end. He sent them to Jeff. Or E, an oil well. Ted Bundy kept trophies of each victim. However, police were never able to recover them all. What did Ted say he did with the rest of them? He gave them away. Zounds. Good evening, Zounds. Tierney Lomberg, welcome. How do I answer questions? Just simply answer in the comment section A, B, C, or D. Whichever one you think is. Cement Shoes, good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Yeah, give it after I read the question, I read the possible answers. And then afterwards, I give it a little bit of time for people to answer them. And then I tell you which one of them is the correct answer. And in yellow there, if you can see it, each question is rated on a scale of 1 to 10. 1 being the easiest, 10 being hardest. And these are trivia questions that have been that are asked in pubs on different trivia nights across the United States, Canada, and in the UK. Pub trivia. There are 2 different companies that actually put the trivia nights together. One does it individually by paper, and the other one is the computerized company where each person has a little desktop module and they're playing against people around the world. Pet Cemetery and put to trash too. All right, question number 1. The correct answer is A as in apple. Of the 30 women he was accused of killing between 1974 and 1978, they only found 11 of the trophies, but he would not tell them what he did with the rest of them. He would not tell them. All right, question 2. I'm going to change the screen here a little bit, so it's going to get bigger. 1 second. There we go. Ted was extremely graphic and honest with the FBI once he was captured, speaking at length and joy about the women he admitted to killing. How many partial confessions did he give them? Was it A, 6, B, 1, C, 3, or D, 68? How many partial confessions did Ted Bundy give the FBI? Yeah, he did that. He gave away jewelry and other items to other people too. Inner Peace. Good evening, Inner Peace, and welcome. In case I didn't say hello earlier. DNA matched 137 septillion, and a hung jury. Retrial begins in 2 weeks. So sad. Wow. 137 septillion. That's a lot. Very narrow chances that it's anyone else. Just pound his handiwork. Proud of his handiwork. Yeah. All right. Question number 2. The correct answer is A as in apple. A as in apple. 6. He gave 6 partial confessions to other murders to the FBI. These murders were committed in the later part of 1975 and 77, the later parts of both years. But he never gave a full confession to either one of those, of the 6, 3 from each year. Oh, now I'm thinking about the little girl. It might be B. I know that it didn't want to admit that. Well, that one. Yeah. Well, we have a question about that one coming up. Question 3. A true lover of the arts, Ted Bundy actually loved photography, taking hundreds upon hundreds of photos of victims and the country. Besides victims, what did Ted take photographs of the most? Was it A, sunsets, B, dead trees, C, homes of different styles, or D, squashed dead flowers? Well, it gets thrown. It happens. I didn't know all the answers to these questions before I put them together. I knew 6 of the 15. That's all I knew was 6 of the 15. Question number 3. Men in bicycle shorts. Mountain lions and Yugos. His mother. The one thing I was unable to find the answer of, because this sparked the question for me additionally on this one, is how did he get all of those photographs developed? Did he take them to a photo place and have them develop them? And did anybody ever see the pictures of these dead victims? Did he have his own photography studio where he developed his own film? I don't know. Bundy here, Colorado, and caught School to Florida. I lived also. Ooh, Juicy Jules is in the house. Welcome, Juicy Jules. Mountain lion and a Yugo smoking meth. Where's Rykart? Dark room. He's creepier. Web Sleuth had a monster Bundy trying to pick her up. Wow. Does that happen to Trisha from Web Sleuths? Had a monster. Bundy tried to pick her up. Lori Vallow's pigtails. All right, question number 3. The correct answer is C as in cat. He loved architecture and he took pictures of homes across the United States, even when he was on the run after escaping jail in Colorado. He still managed to take photographs of homes as he traveled. Web Sleuth is everywhere. All right, question number 4. Besides offering and eventually helping the FBI catch Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, how many other cases did Bundy offer to help the FBI with? Was it A, 3, B, 2, C, 1, or D, 4? Besides helping the FBI catch Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, how many other cases did he offer to help the FBI with? Web Sleuths. Web Sleuths is a website and it's also a YouTube channel. Trisha has both. I've been a member of the website a lot longer than I have been a subscriber to the YouTube channel. Didn't even know the YouTube channel was a thing until probably about a year ago. But I've been on Web Sleuths for 5-6 years, somewhere in there. A lot longer. I'm having trouble with my computer. Sorry. Oh. Hope it fixes itself, or you're able to continue. Catherine, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Besides offering and eventually helping the FBI catch Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer, how many cases did Ted Bundy offer to help the FBI with? Dead trees. "30 seconds left." All right, question number 4. The correct answer is B as in boy. 2 other cases: the Beltway murders and the Highway of Tears. He offered to help the FBI with both of those cases. He said he had insights to both of them, and the FBI never took him up on it, but he offered to help them with both of them. Snazzier wardrobes. All right, question 5. What was the largest clue that eventually got Ted Bundy caught, even though he believed it would never tip off the police to him? Was it A, trace blood evidence, B, hair fibers, C, photographs, or D, eyewitness accounts? Sal's going with D, Lemon Pie D, Emma B, Green is going with D as well. Green a D. E is thinking of the Jersey Shore pinching the Jersey Shore reruns. Thought it was dental impressions. His van down by the river. There we go. Sorry, I'm not talking much. Still dealing with the meltdown. It's all right, Jenna. It's all right. Question number 5. The correct answer is D as in dog. Eyewitness accounts. He never believed that anyone would remember him or be able to link him to the crimes, but because he thought he blended in and he got out before anybody else would see him. But eyewitness accounts is what eventually got him caught. Before they could link all the other things to him, like the car and everything else, it all started with eyewitness accounts is what got him caught. All right, question 6. Once caught by police, when confronted by police over the murder of Kimberly Leach, what did Ted first do or say? Was it A, slammed fist into table, B, hit his head on the table, C, said, that'll get me the chair, or D, said, I would never hurt a child? Kimberly Leach was the name of his youngest victim. What did he say or do when first confronted over the murder of Kimberly Leach? So Mountain Lion did it. Ted was a liar, liar, pants on fire. Yes, he was. He liked to grandstand on just about everything. How he thought he was so unique and so smart. Is that kind of thing illegal? Once caught by police and confronted by the police over the murder of Kimberly Leach, what did Ted Bundy do or say first? The correct answer is D as in dog. He said he would never hurt a child. He knew, as alluded to earlier by somebody in the comments section here, he did not want to admit that he ever did that. When asked later on if he knew how old she was, Ted would only say he knew she was a younger woman, but he didn't know she was that young. I'm not exactly 100% sure, but I believe Kimberly was 12 at the time of it when he murdered her. She was very young. The youngest one by far. All right. Moving on. Question number 7. In 1975, several of Ted Bundy's victims helped ID him in a lineup. If it wasn't for one strong and extremely courageous victim, Carol DeRanch, what most likely would have been the outcome of the first trial against Ted Bundy? Was it A, would have been found not guilty, B, conviction on only attempted murder, C, convicted of only sex crimes, or D, convicted on only 4 counts of murder? He grabbed her at school, so yeah, she was 12. Unfortunately, I knew she was very young. I'm pretty sure it was 12, but I wasn't exactly 100% sure about that. Question 7. In 1975, several of Ted Bundy's victims helped ID him in a lineup. If it wasn't for one strong and extremely courageous victim, Carol DeRanch, what most likely would have been the outcome of the first trial against Ted Bundy? He helped at a Camp Cupcake. You were 12 years old when he was executed? Damn. I suffer from migraines myself. I have for quite a few years. I take Maxalt MLT. It's an oral digestive tablet. Take some Tylenol or whatever works for you. Like, if you can't take Tylenol, take, Bayer or ibuprofen, something else, and then drink a little bit of coffee or soda with it, and then lay down in a dark room. Dark, cool room is what helps me. My peeps, good evening and welcome to tonight's trivia. Elaine, welcome as well. $1975. All right, question number 7. The correct answer is D as in dog. Most likely he would have been convicted on 4 counts of murder, but the murder of Kimberly Leach is what, was the one that got him the chair for sure. Carol DeRonch is still out there somewhere, I believe. Chiefs ahead. Question 8. How many states did Ted Bundy confess to killing in? Was it 5 states, 4 states, 7 states, or 6? Question number 8. How many states did Ted Bundy say he killed in? This is what he said he killed in, not where he was convicted of crimes. How many states did he say he killed in? Purple X. Mental state. I don't really understand the question. Guilty? Purple D. Cement A. Catherine A. Q A. Question number 8. How many states did Ted Bundy confess to killing in? Tyranny is going with D. My peeps, B4. Kanye, what got him caught? Hair. How many states did Ted Bundy confess to killing in? Ladies and gentlemen, the correct answer is A as in apple. 5 states. He confessed to killing in 5 states. He was not convicted of murders from 5 states. He confessed to them, to murdering in 5 different states. Thumbs up for Will. Thank you. If you like this trivia night, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I would appreciate it. All right, question 9. Which one from below was never an item or weapon in Ted Bundy's murder kit? Was it A, a gun, B, duct tape, C, an ice pick, or D, rope? Which item was never an item in Ted Bundy's murder kit? Question 9. My computer keeps messing up. I mean, guilty. Sorry. I'll just shut up. Nah, you're doing good. E, a lightsaber. Neosporin. Brenda is going with a gun. Isn't that what they believed? Tammy had been given malachite. I remember something about that from the Daybell, in Tammy's death, that she was foaming at the mouth supposedly, and I've been given some kind of like malachite or something that poisoned her to death. We'll have to wait for Chad's trial to start. So, and on April 1st, April Fool's Day next year. He strangled Tammy. We'll find out, I guess. Question number 9. Which one from below was never an item in or weapon in Bundy's murder kit? Suffocated her, smothered her with a pillow or something. What's kind of strange about that entire thing with Tammy Daybell and death is I'm surprised that if he murdered her, why didn't he just have her body cremated? They never would have been able to exhume her and then charge him with it, because initially they thought that she died of natural causes in her sleep. So he got away with it at first, but if he would have just had her cremated, no evidence to exhume and then be able to go, oh no, we missed that. He actually did murder her. They said asphyxiation. Marina, welcome to tonight's trivia, Marina. Glad you could be here with us. We're on question number 9 right now. Which item from below it was never a weapon or item in Bundy's murder kit? The correct answer to question 9 is B, duct tape. Duct tape was never an item in Bundy's murder kit. The following items displayed on the table here are all items that were found in his murder kit, in his Volkswagen Bug, and in the van. A mask, plastic garbage bags, ice pick, rope, a belt, flashlight, gloves, hunting knife not pictured, shoelaces, rags, and red lipstick were all in the bag, the murder kit of Ted Bundy's. Why was lipstick in it? Lemon Pie wants to know. Well, Lemon Pie, the lipstick was in there because after he murdered each and every one of his victims, Bundy went back to them and would groom them and apply red lipstick to each of his victims. He also performed necrophilia with his victims and would keep on going back to them over and over again until they were, well, disgusting. Even the ones that he would decapitate. Yeah, he would go back to them. Obviously, he didn't apply red lipstick to the ones he decapitated, but the ones that he didn't decapitate, he would apply red lipstick to them. And these are things, and the insight of this is what helped the FBI understand from Bundy's help to catch Gary Ridgway, the Green River Killer. Excuse me. All righty, question, 10? I think it is. Yep. Growing up in a Methodist household, surrounded by those who really didn't believe in the Bible, a mother who couldn't tell the truth ever, a grandfather who was obsessed with pornography, what was his grandfather's main occupation? Was it A, a deacon of the church, B, a race car driver, C, a chef, or D, law enforcement in the state of Pennsylvania? What was his grandfather's main occupation? Am I sure that he didn't wear the red lipstick himself? I know of no instance where he did wear the lipstick or that he was a cross dresser. But I mean, he could have. I mean, then again, Bundy wasn't exactly going to tell the world about it. You have to understand when it comes to people like Ted Bundy, though, they only tell the police what they want to. They think that the police want to know, or law enforcement wants to know. They want to make themselves out to be someone bigger and more scarier than the other guys. The next one, and they ain't gonna tell you about the little things in their lives. See a chef, race car passenger. E, a male stripper. A Chippendales kind of dancer. Miranda's going with A. Kitiku is going with C. Purple A. What was his grandfather's main occupation? Something to talk about. Good evening. I'm guessing that something to talk about. This is I'm speaking to Cheryl. Good evening. Welcome to tonight's trivia. Well, welcome, my friend. I hope you have been having a wonderful weekend. Twitter censor. We need to fact check this. All right. Growing up in a Methodist household, surrounded by those who really didn't believe in the Bible, a mother who could never tell the truth, a grandfather who was obsessed with pornography. What was his grandfather's main occupation? The correct answer is A as in apple. He was a deacon. Later on, Bundy would confess to that his grandfather's stash of pornography was one of the first things that he became fascinated with was the pornography. His grandfather was a deacon and had an extraordinary amount of not only magazines, books, videos. He had actual items, sex toys, and everything else, and this giant collection of stuff. And Bundy was fascinated with every aspect of it at a very young age. Pornography. Of course, he would also go on later on. After that came out, another individual was trying to make the link between pornography and serial crimes, especially serial murders. And they came to Bundy, and Bundy's like, yep, that's exactly. He told him 100% that that's the reason why he became the way he the murderer he was because of pornography. And if you would have came in and said, look, we're trying to make a connection between, the red number 40, and serial crimes, Bundy would have said, yep, that's it. I ate a lot of food that had red number 40 in it. Just like BTK. I'm alive, having a great rest of my life. There you go. All right, question 11. After every woman Ted Bundy killed, how many times would he return on average to sit and talk to the dead victim, brush their hair, have sex with them on average? Is it A, 1 or 2 times, B, 3 or 4 times, C, 5 or 6 times, or D, 7 or 8 times? On average, how many times did Ted Bundy return to the victims to sit and talk with them, brush their hair, and have sex with them? This is by Ted Bundy's own confession. This is what he said, how many times he would return to them. Cheryl, good evening, Cheryl. Thank you. Thank you. Welcome to tonight's trivia, Cheryl. Hope you had a wonderful weekend. Should have eaten lunch before this. Well, these things will definitely get to you. Imaginable, yeah. Ben Shoes is guessing 144,000. D, mountain lion driving a Yugo while on edibles. Question 11. How many times did Ted Bundy, on average, return to the dead victim to sit and talk with them, brush their hair, have sex with them? Using Common Core math or old school? Good one, Lindsay. And welcome to tonight's trivia, Lindsay. All right, the answer to question 11 is B as in boy, 3 or 4 times. He would return to him, and he kept on returning to him until their bodies decomposed to the point that it made him sick, and then he would immediately go out and start hunting for another victim. 3 or 4 times. Yeah, it is pretty gross, right? And that's why he has such insight into Gary Ridgway and the FBI. They got, not only did he tell them, certain things about the crimes and how he was hunting these victims down and where he would geographically live and work in the area, but he also told them, the one key thing about Gary Ridgway that Ted Bundy told him was, the next time you find a victim, do not touch them. Do not touch him. He will be back. He is coming back, because this is what Bundy himself did, is he would go back to the victims over and over again. And if anything was out of place or moved, he would know it. So he said, next time you find a victim, just leave them alone and surveillance, the area really well. And that's exactly how they ended up catching Gary Ridgway. That and DNA didn't exactly, hurt either. But it made him sick, yeah. All right, question 12. Which one of the well-known stories about Ted Bundy has never been proven with even a single shred of evidence, and Ted himself always denied ever happening? Which one? Is it A, he placed knives around his aunt while she slept? B, he killed Ann Burr when he was 14? Or C, he killed at least one woman with a friend? Or D, he has other children besides his daughter? Which one of the well-known stories about Ted Bundy has never been proven with even a single shred of evidence, and Ted himself has always denied ever happening? E, he was a motivational speaker. I don't want to know what was, if maggots weren't the deal breaker. Question 12. He loves Rise of the Skywalker. B, A sounds familiar, but you think it's B, says Marina. Cement Shoes is going with B. He was Pogo's prom date. Oh my God. Pogo the Clown was John Wayne Gacy's alter ego. He dressed up as a clown and went to children's hospitals, birthday parties as Pogo the Clown. John Wayne Gacy. Pogo's prom date. Oh my God. Sal is changing it to B. Which one of the well-known stories about Ted Bundy has never been proven with even a single shred of evidence, and Ted himself always denying it ever happened? The answer to question 12 is B as in boy, that he killed Ann Burr when he was 14 years old. He always denied that he ever had any involvement in her murder, and there was never any real evidence other than rumors that he was the one that was involved in it or did it. B as in boy, that he killed Ann Burr when he was 14. Alrighty, going on to question 13. Decapitated. How many women did Ted Bundy confess to actually removing the heads of? Was it A, 22, B, 20, C, 12, or D, 10? How many women did Ted Bundy confess to actually removing the heads of? Imagine how many sickos might be doing this right now that we don't know about yet. That's true, my peeps. That is very true. There are 222,000 victims of serial killers across the United States of America between 1970 and 2020. 220,000. And the murderers themselves, the serial killers who actually committed those 222,000 murders, have never been caught. 222,000. The cases of the murders are all linked by DNA or other types of evidence, so they know that these ones are from this murder, this serial killer, or they are from this one. But those serial killers have never been caught. 222,000 from 1970 to 2020. Gagged me with a spoon. Like a valley girl. I haven't heard that in a long time. LOL. Gagged me with a spoon. That's like so like wrong. Oh yeah, he denied everything about Leach. He didn't want to be linked to that one at all. 4 out of 5 dentists surveyed. Question number 13. Cement Shoes is going with D, hoping it's the lowest number. E, Lori Vallow, Letitia Stouch in a perfect world. Lori's going to die in prison. If she doesn't die in Idaho, she's going to die in Arizona. She's never getting out. Once they do the sentencing, they'll probably give her life in prison in Idaho. Here when her sentencing trial comes up, they're going to probably give her life in prison without the possibility of parole in Idaho. And then immediately within a week, well, I shouldn't say immediately, but within a week after that, she's going to be extradited back to Arizona to stand trial there. Now, unless they can prove depraved indifference in Arizona, the charges that she is facing there don't bring the death penalty. Bundy approached a family friend, Kathy, at UW and asked her to help him to his car. He was on crutches. She initially took the keys, but then threw them on the ground and ran, trusting her gut instinct. There you go. Always trust your gut instinct, and it's a good thing your family friend Kathy got away from Bundy. There were some very harrowing, individuals who not only, fell for his ruse, and helping him to his car, because he was faked an injury. But there are women who actually got away from him altogether. Once he got them in their, his car. And famously, his Volkswagen Bug, the passenger side door, you can't open from the inside. He had taken the handles off of the window and taken the handle for the door so it could open from the inside. And once he got you in your car, your good is gone. And the same thing with his van. Always trust your gut instinct. All right, how many women did Ted Bundy actually confess to decapitating? Question number 13. The correct answer is C as in cat. 12. He confessed to decapitating 12 of his victims, but they were only ever able to find 8 of the actual 12 that he confessed to. 2 additional ones later turned up that were not initially linked to Bundy. Of the 12 that he decapitated, 5 of them, he kept the heads of his victims with him in his apartment for months on end. He kept them in the refrigerator. Yeah. Ted Bundy. Little known part about him and his crimes is he decapitated victims and he kept their heads for months on end. All right, question 14. I loved everyone but Mama is what that says. Ted, always the showman, tried to control everything the public knew about him and how he looked. During his trials, how many different outfits was he allowed to bring to court with him? Was it A, 2 complete outfits, B, 5 complete outfits, C, 3 complete outfits, or D, 7 complete outfits? How many outfits was Ted allowed to bring to court with him during his trials? Ted was a seriously sadistic individual. C, C, D, A, 12, D, and C. How many different outfits? And this is counting the one that he obviously was wearing. But how many different outfits was he allowed to bring with him to court? Because he'd change out of his jailhouse uniform that he had to wear into an outfit, and then he had how many total is what we're looking for. He didn't come from jail to the court, in an outfit. He got changed there at the courthouse. In the courthouse jail, a Jolly Rancher lipstick from Lori. Pogo's spare costumes. Ted, always the showman. He was very good at it. Not lying. What is the answer? Question 14. The answer to question 14 is A as in apple, 2 complete outfits. One was a suit and the other one a casual outfit that he would change into when there were breaks for like lunch and for every other, break in the actual trials themselves. The casual outfit consisted of slacks, a dress shirt, and a sweater. But the suit was a 3-piece suit. He didn't always wear a complete 3-piece suit, even in court, but he had a complete suit that he changed into. A as in apple, 2 outfits. And I would assume that that would include 2 sets of shoes, but I couldn't find the answer to that. But 2 complete outfits. All right, question 15. During his lengthy confessions to the murders with the FBI, how many serial killers did Ted Bundy say he met behind bars and as a free man out on the streets of the U.S.? Was it A, 8, B, 3, C, 4, or D, 5? How many serial killers did Ted Bundy say he met behind bars and as a free man on the streets of the U.S.? Lemon Pie's going with B, Kitty Q, B, Lindsay, A, Catherine, 13, A, I have no clue, but wow. Yeah, Sal's going with D, 5. Something to talk about is going with C. Elaine is going, A, I don't know. How many serial killers did Ted Bundy say he met? They had a poker night. Brenda's going with A. Marina's going with A as well. Lemon pie. The Jersey Shortcast. Purple's going with A as well. How many serial killers? Cement Shoes is going with B. They had a Bible study together. Not talk about an interesting group of people studying the Bible, huh? Zephyr, welcome to tonight's trivia. And then Zephyr is going with B. Barry Morphew. How many serial killers did Ted Bundy say he met behind bars and as a free man on the streets of the U.S.? How many? Good. Any more guesses? You got 8 seconds, 6 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. The correct answer, ladies and gentlemen, to question number 15 is C as in cat. He said he met 3 serial killers behind bars and 1 out on the streets. He met the one on the streets in the state of Colorado, and he met the 3 other serial killers behind bars in Florida. The average person walks past 36 serial killers in their lifetime. That's what they say, Lindsay. My odds are I probably a lot more than that. I'm almost 100% sure I've met one, personally and talked to him. But I can't prove that that he's a serial killer. But he definitely gave me that creepy vibe. All right, bonus question. We all know Ted Bundy eventually was put to death in Old Sparky, the electric chair in Florida. What happened to Ted after that? Was he A, buried next to his grandmother in Pennsylvania? B, cremated and spread is in the Cascade Mountains, but not is. Or C, buried in an unmarked grave, or D, put in the Volkswagen Bug forever in the trunk. Oh, poop, like, yeah, hey, oh, I got the SK vibe from you. Oh, yeah. Yes, I'm one. Nice to meet you. Trust your gut. Yeah. I found myself in a situation with this individual that I met. I'm pretty damn sure was a serial killer, and it was just one of those things that even against my best, and I put myself in a situation where I knew I shouldn't have been, but I for some damn reason I was like, why am I even here? Pet Cemetery. I heard Ted smile at the executioners. He never believed that they were really going to do it. He really thought that they wanted, the FBI was just bluffing him, that they were going to execute him. Too bad he didn't mean it, Lena Bordeaux. She would have killed him. Elaine would have killed Bundy for sure. And I don't think anybody would have blamed her. Well, I remember you talking about that went to a bar, right? Yeah. Yeah, Sal. Yeah, I met this guy at a bar, and we were going to go to listen to a concert, to a band play. Yeah. Everything that this person told me about their life, man, was all a lie. All of it. He thought he could keep giving them info, and that would save him. Yeah, it's true, Lindsay. He really thought that the FBI in the state of Florida was bluffing him, and he was going to call their bluff. He made absolutely no preparations to actually die or anything at all. Well, I'll give you the answer after this question. Sent you an email. Well, 3, I think, but the last one actually has the pictures. Okay, Kitty Q. Thank you. I'll look for the email after this. Brenda is going with B. I know for a fact I spoke to 2 different murderers over the phone. Both got away with it. Ooh, wow. 8 serial killers walk into a bar. And none of them walk back out. All right, bonus question. What happened to Ted Bundy after he was killed in the electric chair? The correct answer is B as in boy. His ashes were spread in the Cascade Mountains of Washington State. That is all of the trivia questions, but I have a bonus one for everyone out there. So we all know that, famously, Ted Bundy acted as his own attorney in court during his trials, okay? But do you know what Ted Bundy actually studied in college? Do you know what his major was? Are all the trees there dead now? Do you know what Ted Bundy's what he was actually studying, what his declared degree was going to be in? Lindsay says law. Kitty Q, psychology. Is that for psychology? What did Ted Bundy actually study in school? Government. E, major criminology. My peeps, I'm clueless. I don't know. Psychology? I don't know. His old killing grounds. The Cascades. Home economics. Wait, which university? All of them. Community college and UW. He studied the same thing. Politics. What did Ted Bundy actually study in college? What was his declared degree, field for his degree? And for all you out there who are interested in the answer to this, you can actually find the real handwritten out declared degree field of his study at the Murder Museum in Los Angeles, California. They have the original declared paperwork from school when he was in college. Whatever Kohlberg studied, law. He was a law student, right? He was ribbon dancing. I would guess psychology. All right. Well, the answer is Ted Bundy's declared degree of study in college was criminology, the same exact field as Brian Kohlberg. But he also was taking a understudy classes in Chinese as a second language. He studied Chinese as well, but law and Chinese. Now, about three, I think it was 3 trivia nights ago, and Reichardt's not here, but it took me forever to find this information out. I was telling Reichardt about a YouTube channel about a guy who does dash cam footages. He's a semi driver. He drives a semi for a living. But I was telling him about it. I'm going to put his name here, the name of his channel, his YouTube channel. All right, that's the name of the man's YouTube channel, Joey Whisperer 1776. If you're interested in that kind of content, you can look him up on YouTube. But he does dash cam footages from a semi driver in and up from New Jersey up and down the Atlantic coastal area. He used to be an over the road long haul truck driver, but now he just focuses on the mid Atlantic area. He drives a 2019 Peterbilt built 389 550 HPX 15 with a 6-speed Allison transmission. He's got like 404,000 subscribers, but he calls his content dash cams shenanigans with colorful commentary. How many did you get right? I don't know, Brenda. I don't keep track of it, of how many people are in or how many people get the correct answers. Sorry. We just do it. We play for fun. Thank you, Interpeas. And there's an actual link you can click on. I don't know this man. I it's kind of weird. All right, so I was telling Rykard about this. Um, I'm on YouTube, and I keep on, every once in a while, particularly on Friday nights, I have a couple hours, late at night after everybody, is, gone to bed for the evening. I just kind of get onto YouTube and I try to find live streams on Fridays, and so I click on live, and every time I click on live, it always offers me the same content, and it doesn't matter how big the channel is or how small the channel is. It's always, whenever I click on the tab at the top of the screen that says live, I'm always given sports. It's always basketball, hockey, football, something. Either the actual sport itself and highlights of the game, or somebody talking about the game, or somebody talking about fantasy sports. And I'm like, and I have to scroll all the way to the bottom, and then I get like maybe 2 or 3 channels that are completely different. Well, that's how I was introduced to this channel, Joey Whispers 1776. But it took me forever to find it because all I could remember was 1776 part of it, and people were like, well, it's probably an auditor, channel. And I'm like, no, I don't think it was that, but that's the name of the channel though. I need to know where in the Cascades, hopefully not in Crystal Mountain Ski Resort. Lindsay, all right, so his ashes were actually spread by an FBI agent in the Cascade Mountains, and he has never told anyone where he actually spread Ted Bundy's ashes at. It was done without a permit. So, I mean, he could have went there and dropped the entire box in a trash can and then said, yeah, I spread him in the Cascades. We don't know. Excuse me. Never recommends them. And from the actual dashboard, so you're looking at your YouTube, you have your subscriptions over here on I have them on my left side of all the different channels. It never tells me when someone is live. And I used to get that little red, thing next to the channel's name that tells me when they're live. I don't get notifications of any channel that I subscribe to whenever they're live. Now, the only way to actually find out if someone's live is I have to click on the subscription, the name of the channel, and then it'll tell me, give me that little box next to where the videos are, the tabs are, and it tells me if they're live. And a lot of times, I'm like, well, I might jump in and listen to something to talk about. Sweetheart, I don't know if she's still here or not, but I come in and I don't say anything, but I listen to what you guys are talking about. I just never say anything, but I'm there. I'm there in the chat, and watching the stream. Weird sightings. Hopefully, he was a Bigfoot food. Never know who's standing next to you. Taking off, Purple. Thank you again, Purple. You have a great week ahead. So again, like each week, if you subscribe to my channel, which you should, on Mondays I put a trivia question on the community tab of my channel. That gives you an idea of what the trivia night is going to be about the following week. So, and as soon as you click on what you think is the answer, it'll tell you, a percentage, if you're right or wrong, how many other people have guessed that, and then it'll give you a brief description of it. So it actually tells you, immediately as soon as you click on it if you're right or wrong. So that's every Monday morning. So tomorrow morning I'll post that trivia question again, and so that way you know what the trivia next week is going to be about. The luck of the Irish to you. It's 1:23 here. So good night to you all. You have a terrific week, Brenda. And thank you for dropping in tonight. You take care. You got notifications that I was live? Oh, that's good, peeps. My peeps. I never get notifications at all anymore on anything. And I've tried to figure out why. I used to get notifications, to my phone that I was going live or I'm live, and sometimes it would tell me, look, this person's going to be live in 5 minutes or I'm live now. I don't get anything anymore. I don't know. I've checked every device to make sure notifications are turned on and everything else. I even subscribe, to 411 now underneath another account, and I still don't get notifications, sent to that email address. It's weird. It's YouTube. Great fun. Well, y'all have a great week. You as well, Sal, and thank you again for being here with us. Clayton's Vlogs. Hello, everyone. Hello, Clayton. The trivia night is over with Clayton, but if you're more than welcome to hang out and chat with us, you can watch this and rewind the trivia questions. But all the same, Clayton, glad you found us. YouTube has been weird for about 2 months now. Something I higher the notifications button 5. Still, I look up and it's off. Huh. Yeah, I have no idea what the hell YouTube is doing anymore. The best thing to remember is when it comes to the trivia night, every Sunday at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. So adjust that to accordingly to whatever time zone you're in. But 4 p.m. every Sunday. Like right now, I don't have any home internet, so we're doing this via hotspot thanks to T-Mobile. I'm tethering, wirelessly with my computer right now. But I'm using up my data plan. Welcome, Clayton's Vlogs. I sub. I'm gonna have to check out Clayton's channel. I didn't know Clayton had a YouTube channel. If I can find my pen, there it is. Clayton's Vlog. Check it out afterwards. I got to check the emails for after this. Oh, I've missed live, but we'll watch and rewind. I live in Utah and was long brown hair, etc. during Ted's time. Ooh, Susan Weaver. Good evening, Susan. Yeah, definitely watch and rewind. But during that time when they put out the notice of what Ted Bundy he liked. If you look at his former fiance, girlfriend, in Seattle when he was living in Seattle area, and she had long brown hair. She parted it down the middle, but when they put out this MO of like this man who was killing people, and then when they captured him, there were a lot of women out there who cut their hair, dyed their hair. They changed it so that they wouldn't fit that MO of all the victims. He couldn't get fiber optic. Still can't had DSL until a year ago. COVID was a nightmare for my kids. We have fiber optic here now, but the whole damn system went down. We lost power, and they think that they have to reset the entire thing, and apparently they're working on it, but they have no idea when it's going to be on. All Bundy's victims look just like my mom did when I was little. That's why I hated him so much. Don't have any content up yet, Clayton? Starlink? Yeah, we can't get Starlink here. The government doesn't approve it. So I give you a little bit of a background where I live. I live in a government town. 100% of everything that is here was built by the government, is run and controlled by the government. Slowly but surely, they're starting to move things away from the U.S. government's control, and putting it in the hands of the cities or other contractors. But here, I mean, you're only allowed to have certain cell phone companies, certain devices, certain internet providers. A lot, and when it comes to like electricity, your home phone, all of that is controlled by the government. This entire town was built for the Manhattan Project. In the 1940s, like most of the homes here were built in 1944. One serial killer said, "I did it to them, so I wouldn't do it to you." Can't remember which one. I think Florida. Ooh, in Washington? Yep. So sorry, I'm in Gig Harbor. Thought it would be close enough. Yeah, Gig Harbor is beautiful. I love that area. Monopoly. Yeah, the government. You can't have a government when it's the government itself. They've monopolized everything here. I mean, it's a lot more lax than it used to be. I mean, back in the 70s and 80s, they controlled when people went, where they went, where they lived, who lived in what neighborhood. Yeah, and unfortunately, they did some things that were illegal even then. I'm only new to YouTube, so I'll hopefully be up and running tomorrow. There you go. YouTube is causing creators all kinds of problems. So I've heard. Yeah, I'm in the middle of nowhere, Lindsay. Move over here. Prices are still dropping. I lived in Seattle for quite a few years. Had a condo over there. I lived in Linwood, Washington, and then I moved to Mukilteo. I lived in Everett. Lived in West Seattle. But yeah, those are the gone days. I still have a lot of friends who live over there. Seattle, Olympia, Port Angeles. In his garage. The girl worked with and dated a guy who bought Ted's bug. It was you. In his garage. I thought Ted's bug was in a museum. Could be wrong about that though. And not Alcatraz. There's some. It's like some in some. I thought there was some museum that you wouldn't think it necessarily be in, like the Alcatraz Museum or something like that. Yeah, he sold it. I don't know why anybody would want to buy something like that, anyways. Whatever happened to Ted Bundy's van? My friend's mom was on a double date with Bundy. Luckily, it wasn't her date, and they are both okay. That's scary. He had multiple bugs. Ooh. Yeah, I know. One of them was like a super beetle, 70s like super beetle. My wife had one when I first met her. She had a super beetle. I don't remember what year it was, but the damn thing, it was like 6 different colors. It was gray, blue, green, pink. Damn thing was held together with um, baling wire and beer cans. She's got That was a Super Beetle, but right now she's got a '65 Volkswagen Bug been sitting in our driveway for probably about 8 years. Doesn't go anywhere. Her dad started taking it apart, and I don't think he's ever going to fix it. But slug bug, I believe it is now. There's a serial killer museum in New Orleans. Think too. Oh, Clayton, you're from Ireland? Well, that's cool. Bundy's Volkswagen Bug is currently on display at the Alcatraz East Crime Museum. See, I wouldn't have, I never would have thought that, it's like when somebody tells you, where his bug is, it's like, why would it be at Alcatraz prison, museum? It doesn't make any sense to me, but I thought it was in a museum or something like that. You know someone who saw it? Huh. Pigeon Forge, Tennessee. Like, why would you want to have Ted Bundy's bug in Alcatraz? He never served time in Alcatraz. What's the connection there? Don't understand that. Via Google. Most of my family hails from Ireland. My so there are two brothers, my great grandfather and his brother. They both immigrated from Ireland, and they came through Ellis Island. And when they immigrated through Ellis Island, one of them got the last name. They changed the name from Finney. It's spelled Finney, Finney. And one got Finney, and the other one got Finley. And I obviously come from the lineage of the one family, the brother that is Finley, Finley. Two brothers. One got the name changed, the spelling. It was probably a mistake on how they read the documents coming through and how it got transcribed, but they didn't notice it right away. They're just happy to be in America. Ellis Island. You can actually go to Ellis Island and look at the old immigration books. Ellis Island's a real cool place to go, even if you're in that area. Nowhere near Tennessee either. Yeah, that's true. Another trivia nomination: the Toolbox Killers. Toolbox Killers. Probably poor handwriting. Well, there were a lot of families that when they came through in immigration, that they misspelled their names, or it's like, oh, why are there two N's here? We'll just drop an N, or or my great grandfather and his brothers situation just happened. That, oh, why is there two N's here? But we're the Finneys from Northern Ireland. I'm originally a McKinney, which means son of Kenny. Irish too. America was off. You'd love to go to America, Clayton? You never get a date driving around in a POS Bundy drove. Yeah, right. But I don't think Bundy was looking for dates, looking for victims, convincing to help him. Yeah, but my great grandfather and his brother, They immigrated to America and immediately went from through New York to the state of where Wisconsin, and that's where most of my family still lives. A couple of us have moved to other states, but up and down the Mississippi. But mainly, I'm the. Besides, I have one other relative who lives out west. It lives in Oregon, but we're the only ones that everybody else lives in Wisconsin still. Generations and generations of family that all still live in the same area. Date night with Ted, not a good thing. No, that wouldn't be a good thing. Don't forget, Louis Lepec, the only mob kingpin to get the chair. Yeah, I have Louis Lepec, Lepec, or however you pronounce it. It's on the list. Midwest boy, Lindsay. Yep. Born and raised in Wisconsin. We still have a family farm that we have been farming since 1910. When my grandfather and great grandfather and his brother immigrated to America, we've been farming there. I mean, we don't farm it anymore. I mean, we have a giant pipeline that runs through the back part of the property. It's above ground. It cuts off about a quarter of an acre of land, but from the rest of it, and the residuals that we get for the that pipeline that runs across the property pays the taxes. And my sister son, so I mean my nephew, right? My nephew, he lives at the on the farm itself. We lease out the rest of the property, to other farmers for grazing, and for boarding horses and their cows and stuff there. Wisconsin accent, Lindsay. You want to hear the Wisconsin accent? Go back and watch some of my older videos. We have a lot. There's a lot of the yeah, and pauses in it. Worked really hard to homogenize my speech pattern. People were like, I can't understand a damn thing you're saying. You sound like an idiot. Wish I had some. Which part of Wisconsin? Prescott. It's see it. So here's like the Twin Cities right here, straight across from the Twin Cities in Wisconsin into Wisconsin. Hastings is close there, but the Twin Cities, St. Paul and Minneapolis are right here, so directly across into Wisconsin, Prescott. Of course, the ornate features of Tennessee State Prison with guard towers inspired by Alcatraz Lighthouse of modern day watchtowers. Ooh, sounds cool. Little Linda. So the only thing Alcatraz East has to do with the prison in California is the design of the towers. I don't know. Sounds like it. You love hearing different accents. A lot of my family, it sounds like the individuals from the movie Fargo. A lot of them do. I got a lot of family that is in Wisconsin and the upper part of Minnesota, and they say a lot of things like yeah, you betcha, and it will drive you nuts. Like a 5-minute conversation takes like 10 minutes. It easily doubles, in length because a lot of pauses, a lot of the cadence is like the mid sentence. It just stops for no reason at all. And there's like that pause. Just the way people talk. Being from Washington, I feel like I'm so boring. There's some great things about this state. That's what their website says, little Linda. Okay, just the towers, huh? It was completely different. Speaking of Washington State versus Wisconsin, where we grew up, it's completely different. Uh, it was a culture shock to us when we moved out here. In the That'd been the mid to late 1980s. We moved out here for the first time. We moved back and forth and back and forth and back and forth several times. Um, just put it this way: in my senior year of high school, I attended 4 different high schools my senior year, and I actually graduated there in Minnesota from high school, and then we moved out here, and then I had to, well, the stupid laws back then. They made me take a Washington State history class, and I wasn't allowed to just wander around in town, especially here in this government-controlled town. I had to. They made me go to school, even though I was going to graduate from high school in like 2 months, back home. But anyways, so it was a culture shock to like the speed of life out here on the West Coast is so much faster paced than back home. And that's the best way I can describe it is the pace of life. The only thing that we ever found when we first moved here that made us feel like that, you know, had some kind of similar, familiarity to it was Farrell's ice cream parlor. We used to go to one back home all the time for birthdays and special occasions and stuff like that. But they had one here, and we would go to that at least once a week when we first moved here because it was somewhat familiar to us. I have that Boston accent that I can't get rid of. You can get rid of it, peeps, but I mean, why do it? Texas and everything. I thought I was from Michigan. Oh, never even been to Michigan. Really? I have an Ohio accent, and we say milk instead of milk, milk. Pop instead of soda. Yeah, coffee instead of coffee. We used to have this place in Prescott you go to and you fill up your own soda bottle. There are places like that, and it's like you never find them out here on the West Coast. That's what makes America, interesting. Is that even though we're all, part of one great, country, you have the different cultures, and then you have the different, dialects, and people say things differently, they eat differently, faster paced life, slower paced life. Doesn't mean that there's anything wrong with Wisconsin where I grew up. It's just a different lifestyle altogether. I mean, I know every neighbor, around, and I knew their moms, their dads, their grandfathers, their great grandfathers. You know everybody in that area. Here where I live now, I know 2 of my neighbors. I know the neighbors on each side of me. That's it. I don't know. I don't even know who the people are who live across the street from me. I don't know them at all. And people who live on either side of me, I know them just because I interact with them. Warsh, window, Warsh. Being from this area and the coffee, I can just talk really fast, no fun accent though. Coffee talk. Get the zoo for your birthday. Soda pop. What happened to tonic? Oh, I'm drinking a Pepsi. Back home, if everything when you say you're going to get, if you want an actual brand, you'll say, I want a Coke. And a Coke could be a Pepsi, it could be an RC, it could be a store brand, you know. But this is, a Coke, even though that's the Pepsi. My relatives are from Scotland, need subtitles when they've been drinking. Yonder means over there. Subtitle when they're drinking. I can't understand my half of my relatives when they're not drinking. It's hard to understand what they're saying, because if you try to listen to them, and the context of the pot, yeah, yeah, a lot of that in a conversation, a lot, yeah, yeah, you betcha. Oh yeah, you get a lot of that in the conversation between two people. Add alcohol to the mix, and it'd be even be worse, a lot worse. Do you drink the Coke on the Davenport? The Davenport. While visiting Colorado, I asked for a Coke, and they asked what kind. I said, a Coke. My sister lives in. I have a sister that lives in Colorado. She's about 30 miles from Denver. She likes it there. Sounds like a Maine accent. Speaking of Maine accents, you got to listen to my friend Tim. He's from Old Town, Maine. At Farrell's, oh my God, the zoo. I got whole photo albums, nothing but pictures. I was just a little kid, from probably like celebrating my second birthday, or somewhere in there, of me in a high chair at Farrell's ice cream parlor, and they put this giant like ice cream in front of me, the size of the tray, for at Farrell's, like in a high chair. That ice cream dish was so huge, and it was just this little blonde haired kid, me, just sitting there and like, wow. I haven't been to a Farrell's since probably about 1988, 89. Probably the last time that I've been to a Farrell's. They're still around. There's not anywhere around near me here. Farrell's ice cream parlor. Yep, great place. I didn't even, growing up, I don't remember. We used to, there's other places that we used to go eat all the time, but Farrell's was like the only thing that we ever, it was someplace when we were younger, we always went. It was kind of like an indulgence, or it was for a birthday party or something. But we found it here, and it was, back then we also still had a Woolworths here, and a lunch counter at a Woolworths. Yeah, Woolworths is gone. I don't know if they're around anywhere at all anymore, but I was in the South and asked for a cheeseburger. They asked, you want cheese on that? Cheese on your cheeseburger? I like when you ask for directions and they say you're younger than you're getting lost. You miss Woolworths? The mid '80s, when we moved here, mid to late '80s, we went to the Woolworths, they were attached to our local mall, which was just a dinky little mall. It it had maybe like 10 stores in the entire mall. But we used to go to the Woolworths, and I noticed that they had a sign on the wall, or what was painted on the wall, and then they painted over it white, with white paint. But you could still see the outlines of the letters that said whites only, and then an arrow that said color section. That was at Woolworths, and they painted over it, but you could see where the outlines of the letters on the wall where it was painted at one time. That was in the late '80s. Now imagine that still being there. I mean, that entire store and everything's gone now, but I always looked up at that sign and I was like, wow, it was so weird. Ooh, happy to be alive with all those small little animals hidden in the ice cream. Up yonder. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to take off for the evening, the end of this trivia night. I want to thank everybody for being here. Please give this a thumbs up if you would, really quickly. And I will see everyone again next weekend at 4 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Write it on your calendar, because obviously we can't rely upon the notification system from YouTube to notify people when I'm going live. But thank you, everyone, again. Anyone else have a problem with iPhone 14 changing words? I have a problem with that with my Galaxy. With it, just turn off the setting for text prediction or something like that. But thank you again, everyone. Anyone Saturday? Any more Saturday? Saturday morning, trying to. I mean, couldn't do it the other day. We didn't have any power. We lost all the power. But so we didn't have the option to do a Saturday morning. But I hope to be doing Saturday next week. We'll see. But again, everyone, thank you again, and you all have a terrific week ahead.